Algernon Moncrief's flat in Half Moon Street was a rich, opulent, splendid affair, which was rather interesting because Algernon Moncrief himself was a sort of eligible bachelor who tends to run a lot, mostly because he's being chased by creditors. Algernon Moncrief himself, a straight-haired, tallish-looking man with those insinuating 2 pieces of moustache plastered upon his upper lip, tended to be rather fast and free. In fact, that's how he was playing piano in his flat, fast and free, only half paying attention to any of the notes put there by some learned scholar of music of yore. He played as fast as he could and as fun as he could. And when he finished, he turned and noticed Lane, his manservant, fussing with something. "Did you hear what I was playing, Lane?" asked Algernon as he reached for a cigarette. "I didn't think it polite to listen, sir," Lane answered while hooding his eyes. His eyes were perpetually hooded, half-drawn closed with incredible, insinuating respectability. "I'm sorry for that, for your sake," said Algernon. "I don't play accurately. Anyone can play accurately. But I play with wonderful expression. As far as the piano is concerned, sentiment is my forte. I keep science for life." "Yes, sir." "And speaking of the science of life," said Algernon, getting up, "have you got the cucumber sandwiches cut for Lady Bracknell?" "Yes, sir." Lane gestured with his respectable hand to a plate of sandwiches, which Algernon would have seen earlier if he had paid any attention. Algernon sidled up to the side of the table, and after inspecting 1 or 2 of the sandwiches and clicking his fingers together, he took 2 and sat down upon the sofa, the pattern of which complemented his vest very smartly, and Algernon knew it. "Oh, by the way, Lane," said Algernon, biting into a sandwich, "I see from your book that on Thursday night, when Lord Shorman and Mr. Worthing are dining with me, 8 bottles of champagne are entered as having been consumed." "Yes, sir, 8 bottles and a pint," said Lane as he folded up the serving tray. Algernon seemed to rankle at this. "Why is it that at a bachelor's establishment the servants invariably drink the champagne? I ask merely for information." Lane replied with hooded respectability. "I attribute it to the superior quality of the wine, sir. I have observed that in married households the champagne is rarely of a first-rate brand." "Good heavens! Is marriage as demoralizing as all that?" said Algernon. "I believe it is a very pleasant state, sir. I have had very little experience of it myself up to the present," replied Lane. "I have only been married once. That was in consequence of a misunderstanding between myself and a young person." Algernon turned away and put his knuckles to his forehead. "I don't know that I am much interested in your family life, Lane. No, sir. It is not a very interesting subject. I never think of it myself." "Very natural, I am sure," said Algernon. "That will do, Lane. Thank you." "Thank you, sir." And Lane, with his hooded eyes and quiet shoes, pottered away. Algernon looked out the window at the street below him. He confided to the window-pane. "Lane's views on marriage seem somewhat lax. Really, if the lower orders don't set us a good example, what on earth is the use of them? They seem as a class to have absolutely no sense of moral responsibility." Lane, with his quiet shoes, enters again, and announces, "Mr. Ernest Worthing." Algernon turns and brightens at the sight of his good friend. "How are you, my dear Ernest? What brings you up to town?" "Oh, pleasure, pleasure," said Ernest, pointing to the cucumber sandwich morsel which Algernon holds between his forefinger and thumb. "Eating as usual, I see, Algy." Algernon replied with a stiff blink. "I believe it is customary in good society to have some slight refreshment at 5 o'clock. Where have you been since last Thursday?" Ernest sat down on the sofa, whose pattern did not match his vest at all. "In the country." "What on earth do you do there?" Ernest raised his eyebrows and pulled off his gloves. "When one is in town, one amuses oneself. When one is in the country, one amuses other people."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?